Banking on Health, sponsored by Cinfed Credit Union.
Good afternoon once again. It is one of the top New Year's resolutions, not just shaping up the body, but shaping up your finances. With what to do to reduce your spending, save some money in 2023, we are joined by Jim Kapp from Cinfed Credit Union. Good afternoon to you. Why is this such a popular New Year's resolution?
Well, I think a lot of people are really trying to be conscious about their finances, especially looking at the economy. There's a lot of questions in the coming year, so they want to be sure that they're solid and that they're ready for it.
So I read that having a little bit of a cushion even helps you physically, like it helps your mental health and your body, but the average person is like 3 paychecks from poverty. Does it really seem to make a difference in our health?
No, absolutely. It is, because what happens is people have an emergency situation, maybe a car repair or a health situation that they're not ready for, and then that's a large expense, and you either have to borrow money to cover it or maybe put it on a credit card. If you have that savings, you can go ahead and pay for that and take care of that expense without having to dip into, taking that loan or putting yourself into some deeper financial trouble.
Yeah, interesting. So we have some video. I was just curious. A lot of us debate, do you skip the morning cup of coffee that you'd like to buy, or do you just not buy the big washing machine or whatever you need?
Right, exactly. Well, probably it's easier to start with smaller steps. It's the beginning of the year, and what we're trying to do is build some good habits. So starting small and putting a little bit aside with every paycheck or every time you make a deposit, put some aside and put into savings. And that's really a good way to kind of take those small steps to get you started.
Now, you gave us some great points that I just want to highlight. I actually hadn't kind of thought about those. You said make the saving automatic to start those. How come?
Right, absolutely. Because, well, that way it becomes a habit and something you really don't even think about. You just put a little bit aside with every paycheck or every deposit that you make, and it's going to be there, and it'll slowly start to accumulate, and then you'll have that emergency fund. So in case you do have something that you need to spend on a short notice, you'll have it.
And I know a lot of us have tried to, move stuff to a credit card to change the interest rate, so that obviously could help. But why does the credit score matter?
The credit score matters because really your credit score helps determine how much you can borrow, what rate you get when you borrow, and even some of the options that you have when you do need to borrow money. So the higher your credit score, the more options you're going to have. So it's not something that you can change overnight. But again, if we're talking about smaller steps, get an idea of what your current credit score is and start working toward building that up over the course of time. And you can do that by making payments on time, being careful about what additional debt you do take on, and then if there are already questionable purchases or anything that you want to challenge, making sure you promptly address that with your creditor.
All right, we're going to say farewell, but I know, like a fitness coach, you guys have financial coaches, right? We will
That's absolutely correct.
Send people to you at your website. You can go to local12.com or what'shappeninginhealth.com, and we have a link to the Cinfed Credit Union. Jim Kapp, it is always a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks for getting us in financial shape for the new year.
Thanks so much, Liz. Good to see you.
You too.